Am I the asshole for accusing my stepdaughter of being rude to my daughter? My stepdaughter gave birth to her first child 6 weeks ago. She went to my in-law's house to celebrate the baby over the weekend. My husband and I were there, and so was my daughter. My husband and I have been married for 22 years and together for 23 years. My stepdaughter lived primarily with us from the ages of 6 to 17. Her mom was still in the picture but moved around a lot. My daughter brought a card and gift for my stepdaughter's baby. My stepdaughter opened up the card and loudly claimed my daughter needed to take it back because she wasn't Aunt Jade to her baby and she would not be bringing that into her house when she had signed it that way. My daughter was embarrassed and upset with the very quick rejection of the card and the title, but she took the card back. I told my stepdaughter she could have handled that with far more tact, and being rude to my daughter was not right. My stepdaughter told me I had no right to accuse her of being rude. She said if the card from me and her dad could be from Grandpa and Rose, then my daughter should know her place and know she won't be an aunt or a family member to her child. She told me I had just called out a newly postpartum mom and should be ashamed of myself, and she said my daughter needed to realize her place. Am I the asshole for calling her out? There's a lot of missing context here. For someone to react like that, it feels like there is deep-rooted conflict or resentment. It seems that she doesn't like you or your daughter. Not the asshole, your stepdaughter has decided to be unnecessarily mean. Even if you think that, you smile and nod and bring it up in private if it's a big deal. Having a newborn baby is tough, but I feel like your stepdaughter is hiding behind being postpartum as an excuse to be nasty. And honestly, the desire to put people in their place speaks volumes about a person's character. WTF did I just read? Your stepdaughter flipped out because your daughter signed it, aunt? Either there is a lot of backstory missing or your stepdaughter has some issues. What does she should know her place even mean? Cause it sounds like your daughter did something nice and your stepdaughter reacted like a B chapter. So I feel there is more to this story than is written. Otherwise, not the asshole for calling her out, postpartum or not. Not the asshole. Being postpartum doesn't give you carte blanche to be mean for no reason. Her response was ungracious and it was very unkind of her to make a point of correcting your daughter in public. Your daughter is not the asshole, but your stepdaughter sure is TA. Your stepdaughter better not ask your daughter for favors or money in the future because we are family. Not the asshole. Your stepdaughter is mean and rude. If your daughter isn't family, then neither are you. So no free babysitting. Not the asshole. You were right, your SD could have handled that situation with much more tact and subtlety as opposed to blatantly embarrassing your daughter publicly. Being a postpartum mother is a poor excuse for such behavior. If she doesn't want her stepsister to refer to herself as Aunt Jade, she could have simply said so simply and quietly. Info: how did you come to know her father and get married? You've been together 23 years, your daughter is 24. Is she your SD's half-sibling? She lived with her mum for 2 years while you were with her father. Were you an affair partner by any chance? Not the asshole. Your stepdaughter sounds like a nasty person telling anyone to know their place. Even though she just had a baby and with the emotional upheaval postpartum can be, she was rude AF. Not the asshole. Your stepdaughter is incredibly rude. Your daughter needs to learn her place. What does that even mean? Yikes. Info: what was your husband's reaction? Wow, what a piece of work. I am surprised your daughter still talks to her at this point. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, I would have taken back any gifts bought. If I'm not seen as family after all those years, my gifts know their place isn't with an entitled brat shrug #hash. Not the asshole, I hope your daughter took the gift back too. I'm sure she didn't because yeah. But I guess perfect strangers aren't supposed to give gifts to strange babies. Not the asshole. Stepdaughter was extremely rude and tactless. That said, if she wants you and Jade to know your places, then you should bow to those wishes. Keep your distance. That should also mean no money, gifts, favors, routine babysitting, etc., going forward. Same with any inheritances, trusts, property, and heirlooms from you and your side, excluding your husband and his assets. She made her feelings clear that you and Jade are not family to her and her child. She would not be bringing that into her house. Take her at her word and act accordingly. Not the asshole stepdaughter sure is an AH though. How sad that SD is so cruel. Not the asshole. That was tactless of her. She could have merely said thank you, and then later gotten your daughter alone and told her that while she appreciated the interest she would not be calling her her baby's aunt. There was no reason for her to be so blatantly and deliberately rude and cruel unless that was exactly what she was aiming for. Not the asshole I'm so sick of the evil stepmother trope. It doesn't sound like anything more than the family not blending well, which happens. Especially since stepdaughter was abandoned by her mother. She needs to sort these feelings out because being so angry about something so trivial is not healthy. My daughter was embarrassed and upset with the very quick rejection of the card and the title, but she took the card back. She forgot to take the gift back as well. Not the asshole. Know her place? Yeah, she's a jerk. Please apologize to your daughter on behalf of all the other sisters in the world with complicated families. Not the asshole, but your SD really is. Please tell your daughter to never give away free babysitting to her nasty stepsister. Not the asshole, and you should have taken the gift back. Not the asshole. Even if she wasn't okay with her stepsister using the term aunt, then she should have handled this much better. Post-birth hormones aren't an excuse to act like an AH, and I've had 3 kids. Or man, fuck that lady. I would say, as you wish. I would never lift a single fucking finger for that kid again. Ever. I wouldn't support her in any single way. Shit like this has a tendency to blow families up. I would be fine with it. What you said was not over the top or offensive. Not the asshole. Info: was your daughter aware that your stepdaughter doesn't want her child to consider you a grandmother? Were those boundaries made clear before the baby was born? The reason I'm asking is because if your stepdaughter made it clear that there would be a distinction between her step-family and her bio-family, she might have felt your daughter was disrespecting her boundaries by signing the card as Aunt Jade. Not the asshole. Even if it's valid that she doesn't want her to be an aunt, she could have handled it better. I really wish your daughter took back the gift along with the card, though I think you and your daughter should distance yourselves. No gifts, babysitting, etc. Maybe you'll still see her at the ILS, but I wouldn't pursue a relationship. Sounds like that's what stepdaughter would prefer. Not the asshole, she has issues. Not the asshole, but in all honesty that reaction really does sound suspiciously deep-rooted. Have a talk with her in private about what she did with her father in the room. OP, I hope you are not pushing your daughter to be appeasing to your stepdaughter. She needs to grow some self-esteem and be very distant with your stepdaughter. You are her mother, guide her through this. Not the asshole, your SD was extremely callous, could have said something in private. Did she keep the gift? She can't hide rudeness, lack of manners behind being postpartum. Info: what has their relationship been like throughout childhood? What has your relationship been like with her? Were there times during childhood where she complained about you guys being rude to her or being partial? Not the asshole. Time to start teaching her a place. She wants to be the step so bad, you and your daughter do absolutely nothing for her or her kid. No gifts, no recognition of any kind. Let her live as though you don't exist, and when she needs a babysitter or a break or advice, let her flounder on her own. The audacity of keeping the gift from your daughter while sitting there treating her like crap is insane. Not the asshole I don't know the background or anything, but saying you need to know your place me to a disgusting vile person. Info. I hope your daughter took the gift back. Stepdaughter is obviously going to prevent a close relationship between your daughter and hers, so your daughter should save her time and energy now by taking a back seat when it comes to stepsister's baby. Some people use their babies to be manipulative. Sounds like stepsister is one of them. Not the asshole. Nope, not at all. In my opinion, I think you and your daughter need to give her all the space she wants, if she wants to see her dad do it at hers, but if I were you too, I wouldn't go out of my way at all to be helpful unless apologies were made and kind asks were there for help. She doesn't want you in her life, so be it. Let her actual mom put in the effort, although from sounds of things, it's not going to be the case.